a go for the episode 3 of the Soundtable podcast. Damn Theory and Oskeeet. And to my left, our special guest, Coast in the building. What up, Coast?
What up?
How you doing, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Glad you're here. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to
this guy. Yeah.
Get some smoke and
28 rotations around.
I appreciate it. Coming to chill and talk with us about, usually on the Soundtable podcast, we talk about music. We talk about kind of either what's in the news or just what we feel. We just kind of let the conversation flow or whatever too. But we could start by is there something you're listening to right now?
Shit, right now. Well, actually, I'd be bumping a few local artists. One being my boy Cody. Calls himself I think it's Cartier. I think I'm saying that right. Cartier. He's got a thing on Spotify right now. I think he's got 2 songs out. He's got a couple of things out on Facebook too and YouTube. I wish I could shout him out a little bit better, but he's got some cool stuff out right now. He's got a hit single, It's Just the Way It Goes. I'm bumping that one right now for sure, like in the mornings and stuff.
That's what's up. I think I saw you share those. He has a couple videos and stuff too, and
he's got a couple videos going on.
What's the stage name again?
Cartier.
Yeah,
or like Cartier. It's pronounced very elegantly, and I'm not an elegant person, I'm very not elegant. So
check that out. That's dope.
I have horrible pronunciation of shit, but yeah.
I used to work security at Cartier jewelry store when I was like 19. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
That's a real thing?
It's a jewelry store called Cartier, yeah.
To my right, Oskeeet in the building. What do you listen? What'd you listen to this week? Anything new or anything? Or?
Dude, I've been listening to a lot of Black Sabbath. I need to step my game up on new artists. That's why when we got here, I talked about it in the last podcast, but the damn Atlas dude, I think that dude's sick.
Oh, damn Atlas from Rhyme Sayers. You know him?
Yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah. I dig his style.
Yeah, just Rhyme Sayers in total is just like the heavy hitters when it comes to lyrical shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I like Rhyme. I'm not like a diehard listener to their everyday shit, but Rhyme Sayers is like the best, most talented label out there in my opinion for real rap.
Some of my absolutely, I agree with that. Rap. Some of my favorites. And but no, speaking of that, there's a lot of like local artists that are super dope. Is the Cartier? Is he from like Sacramento, or is it more Auburn area? Like, is he?
Yeah, he's from Sacramento area as far as I know. He's all over the place, really. Let's see if I can find.
Probably doing his thing in the Bay Area, I would imagine.
Oh, he's doing his thing all over the place.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of homies doing their thing as well. He's been posting them up too. Like, he just shows mad love. He's a real cool cat. He's one of those dudes that like gives back, and he's about what he raps about it too. He's not just like just saying some stuff. Yeah,
some real hip hop.
That's when you think about it, that's rare these days. One, to be humble how you're describing him, but like two, to rap about what you actually are about. I guess it's a lot of fakes in my opinion.
Yeah,
just talking about it, not being about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. He definitely
or just like
he's about it.
Yeah, or just like what the kids call it, clout chasing now, or whatever.
Yeah, that's the new. That's the new. That is the new term.
Troll and stuff and do all that shit.
Cartier Cody, so it's CARTIERCODY.
Oh wait, where am I looking?
Oh, right here, right.
Oh, I see, Cartier. Oh yeah, Cartier Cody.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's super fancy, so like
check that out on Spotify. That's super dope. I'm gonna check that too.
Yeah, Spotify, The Way It Goes. So.
That's The Way It Goes.
Yeah, also my dude Aerospace.
I saw that.
Aerospace. He's on. I think he just got signed to a Sprite, or had a Sprite sponsor or something like that, or some sort of radio.
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
I don't know.
That's a
big
move. That's a big move. I'd be super happy about that.
That's a dope stage name too. What was it?
Aerospace. AIROSPACE. The one that I was tripping on is one of his old ones for sure. He's got some new stuff out that's sick. He's always putting some dope stuff out. Zenith is the song name on Spotify. ZENITH.
Fire.
That's some stuff that I've been listening to. But what have you been listening to lately over there, Theory?
damn, I feel bad. I feel like I should have been listening to more local stuff lately. Like now,
Yeah, me too.
But just today I checked out Tyler the Creator's new one.
Oh, Igor.
Igor.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
I just gave it once through, and I liked it. It's really weird. There's not that much rapping on it. But
oh, really?
Yeah, it's a lot of like singing and like shit. You're not even sure if it's his voice or not. Like it's a lot of like kind of cool vocal like stuff, but like good music. It's like weird. I like weird stuff, so I was into it. And then I also bumped. The Wu-Tang EP that just came out.
Wu-Tang?
Ain't nothing to fuck with.
Of Mikes and Men. It's like part of a documentary. That
I was going to say, they're
out.
coming out with a documentary on him, and I saw the trailer. It looks fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, I think it's like Showtime or something like that.
Documentary.
But, and I'm pretty sure it was all brand new songs that I hadn't heard, but they were good. But then like two of the tracks, it was only like 7 songs, and like two of the tracks were like kind of clips from the documentary. So it was like someone just like, it was like Nas like talking about him and like their experience and like when they were first coming up, and like him just like hearing about Wu-Tang like going all over New York and playing shows, and him just like hearing about him on the underground. I thought that was kind of cool. That made me want to go watch it.
Do you think both of you have hip hop knowledge? Do you think Wu-Tang is like the versatile, like the best hip hop group, like talent wise, of all time ever?
Yeah, you know what? You could definitely make that argument, I think.
Well, they're obviously in the debate. I don't care who you are. The Wu-Tang is in that debate. I think they are.
Of all time, like a hip hop group of all time.
Like group,
I think you'd have to give it to them. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of styles that are used today weren't around in their time, and then like a lot of them like started it up. Like I gotta give it out to ODB on my end, like from my world.
Hell
like,
yeah,
that was like the first rapper, as far as I was concerned, that had rhymed sounds. You know, like he wasn't just rhyming words; he was rhyming just some whack sounds too. Like he'd be like doodle doo doo, and shoot go the train. You know, yeah. And then, but he'd be able to rhyme that.
That's
that
true.
sound.
I never thought of that.
I feel like ODB he's been known. Well, after his death, he's been known as like a certain character. But if you really dive deep into ODB's raps, he was really like good at rapping.
Yeah,
super talented.
Because I mean, I grew up knowing him as like that dude that took his kids to get food stamps in that fucking video on you way back.
Yeah,
in the day.
yeah, you remember that when he was on MTV? He did it like straight up.
But
on
like,
MTV.
if you dive, because I like to research rap and like research who certain people are, like interviews or music. But like, you listen to ODB's music, it's actually really. You can tell he's a talented rapper, which is pretty much all the Wu-Tang is talented. But yeah,
I've heard a couple funny stories about him, like recording, like especially recording that Mariah Carey song that he did, that remix or whatever it was.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, ODB was amazing. It was great.
No.
Still to this day, you hear the dun 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 dun. Dun, like I get
Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
I just get the chills every time. Still, I hear the beginning of that track, man.
That's like a classic. I'll find myself playing that key on the piano if I'm like sitting there trying to make a beat too.
That's so tight.
Well, that's what I think about a lot. Is like that time of music was before like the internet was around, but nowhere near how it is today. And it's like they were still making like banging ass tracks back in the day that are still. I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
And they had to go through like a record label, or they had to go through a record distributor. Like they actually had to like, you know. But I feel like
messy town too.
Yeah, but by that time, I feel like Wu-Tang had already made a name for themselves. Like.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would get a Wu-Tang
90s,
tattoo.
obviously.
I would get the W tattooed on me. That's how much I respect
Most people
them.
do.
Yeah.
Literally, it's not. That's and the thing is, that's not uncommon to see someone. If I saw someone with a Wu-Tang tattoo, I wouldn't be like, "That's crazy," because it's kind of normal.
I overheard on another podcast, I forget what it was, but they were talking about it. But they were saying like, you know what, you could usually. They were saying like normally you'd introduce if someone was like going to start getting into hip hop, you'd normally introduce them to Tribe Called Quest first, but you could just as easily introduce them to Wu-Tang first.
Well, shout out Tribe Called Quest, by the way. 'Cause
Right.
That's what I grew up on that before Wu-Tang. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. But it's now that time has even gone on a little bit further. I feel like you could just as easily like start like with Wu-Tang first.
Oh yeah.
Even though like I feel like it's it was because it was about the same time, right? Early
Same,
early
pretty
90s?
much the same exact time, same
Yeah.
time frame, same area.
Yeah, I had no knowledge of this, by the way. I'm learning right now in school.
Tribe Called. Whoever's listening, look up Tribe Called Quest because.
Speaking of Tribe Called Quest, that's one thing that was in the news. Oakland declared May 17th Five Dog Day. Or
Oakland did?
Oakland did. I know.
Wow,
Because
fuck, that's the opposite side of the country.
Five dogs from Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
And recently died of
Some
AIDS
sort of
or
confusion
cancer.
with diabetes. Or
diabetes.
maybe it was
Diabetes.
cancer.
Yeah, you might be right, diabetes. But he passed away. Anyway, he was part of the original Tribe Called Quest. And, yeah, Oakland, because I guess, originally he's from Queens.
Yeah.
But lived in Oakland for however X many years, the past like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, shout out Tribe Called Quest. That's what I grew up about, middle school shit.
Like, what do you think the earliest year was when rappers started becoming like movie stars?
Oh,
Or,
that's
like,
a really
television
good question.
stars.
Fuck. Well, you gotta
Okay,
think about
well-
Tupac and Juice.
Okay,
which is
Tupac.
92. That was
Okay,
92.
that's 92.
Ice Cube, Ice Cube,
question.
Boys in the Hood, that was
in the
90,
Hood.
91 at most. No, I think it was 90 for
Okay.
Boys in the Hood.
Yo, what
Okay.
about Snoop Dogg? Wasn't Snoop Dogg in one?
Yeah, Snoop was
Was
he in a
Dre
movie as
in
a
one
young-
before that? Was Eazy-E in one before that?
No,
Mm-mm.
I don't. Eazy-E never got into like the movies. I
Just
don't
some dudes
think.
that look like Eazy-E now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
A lot
Yeah.
of dudes that look like. Maybe it's hologram, man. They got holograms at every.
I saw-
I feel like that Eazy-E look like that, like the Jerry curl, the low glasses,
Sunglasses,
and
yeah.
the like the socks like hat, like that became like almost like a cliche like LA gang member like thing, like.
Yeah,
And maybe
exactly.
and it was one of those things like, what is art reflecting life, or is life reflecting art in that sense? Like, was Eazy-E just like rocking that style because that was the style, or did like people don that style because they started doing
It was
that
that way. I think it was that way.
because NWA started it. You think?
Maybe not started, but I mean that was the style. But I don't know. It could go either way. But if it wasn't for those fools, those fools put that style on the map. Like the whole West Coast. When you think about, it's crazy how the attire. Like when you think of East Coast, you think of like big jackets and like Timberlands.
Yeah.
But you think of
Yeah.
West Coast is like khakis and like Converse. You know what I mean? It's
And
just
that's like some windbreakers maybe because it's the
Yeah.
Bay, you know.
yeah.
Bay
Bay
Area.
Area. Bay Area's got its own like style too.
Yeah.
So, what do you think there was rappers in movies when Eazy was rapping?
Yeah. So yeah, what year did Eazy die?
94.
In '94. Okay, so yeah, so definitely, yeah. So Pac was kind of becoming like a separate thing, almost like right at the same time, and he was, yeah, you're definitely right. He was in Juice, and that movie, I don't know if that really got him recognition as an actor at the time, because I was too young to know. I don't know, but
I wasn't alive.
yeah, but and I remember watching it later on as like a teenager, like 18, 19 years old, and being like, this, if Tupac would have stayed, if he wouldn't have passed away, he would have eventually gotten an Oscar. Like,
Oh yeah, he was
for
good at
something,
acting. He
because
was a good actor.
that movie he's just incredible and so scary in that movie.
Yeah,
He's
that's
so
the thing.
scary.
That's how good of an actor he is. I fucking hated him in that movie. I didn't like him at all. He was a bad
Right.
person, but he was acting, so that just shows how talented he was as not a musician, but as an actor. He's a good
Yeah.
actor.
And then Ice Cube, like he was saying in Boys in the Hood, and when he wrote Friday, that was like 94,
He wrote that, huh?
95. Yeah, he wrote Friday.
That's
And then
my
started
top
it.
top 8, top 10 movies of all time. Is Friday
One of
for
my
sure.
favorite movies of all time. So funny. And then I'm trying to think also because rest in peace, John Carpenter,
John Singleton.
John Singleton, excuse me.
Damn, looks like
He
Ice
just
T,
died, too.
Redman in here. That's
Ice T. Okay. Oh yeah, Ice T was in
Colors. He wasn't in
Colors. He was
but
in Colors.
He made the song Colors, which was in the movie Colors.
That's right. So that
Snoop
was
Dogg, Diddy, Tupac Shakur for sure. That's
yeah.
Will
Ti.
Smith.
That's a good one because Ti's been in a few movies.
And then that's Most Def. That's not.
Most Def is
He
one
was-
of my favorite actors. Not only one of my favorite rappers, but I don't know how many movies you guys have seen him in.
I've never seen Mos Def in a movie, and I
Oh my
love Mos
god,
Def.
bro!
So Method Man. Redman.
Method Man's funny as fuck.
It's like P. Diddy, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac Shakur, like the earliest ones. I don't know which ones did the first one though.
That's a good question. It had to have been Boys in the Hood, right? Unless no. Okay, Crush Groove. Anyone remember Crush Groove? Ooh, there's one. That's a throwback. Crush Groove was basically like a mockumentary, like basically like talking about the start of Def Jam, and all those cats are in it. Like Russell Simmons,
1985,
and Run DMC.
Damn.
Is that what year it was? Crush Groove?
1985, yeah.
85, yeah. So that was so when you think about and Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, they're Fat Boys, they're all in that movie. And that movie is it's awesome. It's actually really cool.
Jeebus, yeah. Dude, he just named all those pretty much.
Did I and who am I missing? Was there some
Sheila E. Let's see, yes, Fat Boys, Run DMC, Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow.
New Edition.
Dude, New is awesome. It's literally like
we stand the rain.
It's so good. Oh my god, that movie's awesome. That movie, and then yeah, that was a throwback right there. That was probably the first movie with like real rappers in it. I feel like.
Let's see.
Because I don't think
American rapper Snoop Dogg.
Because I don't think what was the breakdancing movie back in the day.
What, Bring It On? No, you got
no way, way before that.
Yeah, just the whitest cheerleading movie ever.
Cheerleaders.
That was the first like. I have a lot of sisters. I'll blame it on that.
There you go, boom. I was trying to break. No, it was an old. No, Crush Groove was that movie. Damn. Anyway, it was an old breakdancing movie, and I don't know if any like hip hop artists were like in that. But
if you could name that movie, I could try to find it.
I'm trying to. It's like on the tip of my tongue. It's if you just type in like 80s breakdance movie, it's like because it was before the 90s. It was like right at like 89, maybe 87, like right after I was born.
80s hip hop movies.
Like breakdance movie. It was basically a breakdance movie. It didn't like. And when you hear the name, I feel like Oscar, you'll know it.
It's just called breakdance.
Flashdance.
Flash, whatever. Maybe it is called breakdance.
Breaking.
There you go. Breaking.
Breaking.
No one remembers Breaking?
1984 American breakdance theme.
Yeah, I don't think that had any. That might have had like like the originals like Cool Herc or
oh my god,
someone in there like I don't even know
Cool
like maybe
Herc.
Africa Mambata might be in that movie.
Oh my god, you're just naming like the founders of the shit we listen to every day.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, I'm a hip hop. They talk about what's his name, LeBron James being a hip hop historian. I'm a hip hop historian. Like
LeBron James is known as a hip hop historian. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Looks like
that's what I've heard.
I know. I feel like I've heard that too.
1982 with Wild Style.
Wild Style was another one. There you go.
That's crazy. You know these things. 1980. I thought I was smart. Jesus.
No, bro. Dude, like I looked because like okay, even in college, I wrote an English paper on the history of like how hip hop started. So like I really like dug into it and read like 5-6 books like just for that paper alone, just to like. And like I learned like basically like that whole like those documentary series that was on like Netflix we were talking about like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
It was basically that whole story, but like in the books and stuff. Like I read the whole thing, like about it starting in the Bronx and
that's
just
where rap started.
DJs and all
house
these house parties and stuff. And it would
in
be
the Bronx.
Crazy, dude. It was like, man, it would be a crazy time. It was just like this thing where like people were rebelling against almost like the system and doing their own kind of music that no one had ever done before, and treating turntables as instruments, and that's what was really new about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you think about it, when you go to concerts and there's a DJ with turntables, he doesn't really use the turntables how they're supposed to be used. It's kind of like play the track, maybe run it back, or like really quick. But like DJs, like, when you think about DJs, are really like their own kind of artists. You know what I mean? Or
absolutely
scratching and shit. But you don't really see that much anymore. I don't know why. I mean, it's fucking dope.
Start coming to me with like some of these like deeper, like these actual like deep hip hop shows that are like, you know, they usually have a DJ like that that'll be like trying to like, he either has some skill scratching or like will attempt it, you know what I mean? So, but they'll play like raw hip hop, real hip hop cuts too, you know what I mean?
Some real hip hop cuts. What do you think? What do you think is real hip hop these days?
I think just because that damn Atlas. I think that damn Atlas dude is sick, dude. I'm not like for real hip hop these days. For me, I'm kind of strict on what I think is real hip hop these days, but like just rhymesayer stuff, in my opinion.
But yeah, and by saying rhymesayers, just by saying like someone who has like some like music that has some substance behind it, that you can tell like has some artistry and some like thought behind putting into like a like either a punchline or twisting a word a different way to make it like kind of, you know,
or when you can
go one way or the other.
Yeah, when you can tell you can hear in their whatever lyrics, whatever it is, you can tell that they have respect for their elders that did it before them. I don't know. That's how I see it. When I think it's real hip hop, I can tell that they know their hip hop knowledge themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's tight.
Like I bring him up on the podcast, I feel like a lot, but Joyner Lucas, like to me,
Joyner's
like you put me on him, and
no way, Ty put you on.
Yeah, Coast put me on Joyner, and I was like, yeah, man, like there is still like artists like that, you know what I mean? That are, and maybe they don't play him on the radio every day, but someone who's just like not cookie cutter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely,
and is recognized by Eminem as like a dope MC, you know what I mean? Like
Eminem, Yellow Wolf's new Trunk Music 3. Shout out Yellow Wolf. His new Trunk Music 3 is fire.
Damn,
yeah,
I haven't heard that for years.
Dude, I will bump that. I love Yellow Wolf.
On it, dude.
I fuck with Yellow Wolf.
The Catfish Biddy is like back on it for sure.
Damn.
He's on it, and I love it too. He's like honest. I love his singing stuff for sure, and I love his calm stuff. That's always cool to chill to when it's like rainy and stuff, and you're just chilling there. And cause I was growing up in the countryside, so like he's right up my alley, really, or I'm right up his, whichever. I don't care.
No, exactly. I love that vibe. I love the vibe that he puts out. Like
I mean, he's pretty good because Eminem swooped him up. You know what I mean?
Dude, he can
Shady Records. But how has hip hop helped you guys recently? Like it's like so far, like obviously it's helped us in one way or another, music or in hip hop in general, you know, but how has like music, specifically hip hop genre, helped you like these days?
Take it away. I have my answer.
It's I'll give you time.
C's all the way down. C's.
For me, I mean, from day-to-day stuff, it helps you just like kind of get through like laundry or just kind of move through, whatever you're doing kind of through the day. Obviously, like you and me, we can't listen to music at work, but when I used to be able to listen to music at work, it would help me get through work. But then there's those occasions where, and I'm trying to think of a recent example, but there's those occasions where you hear a lyric or you hear a song that either really does speak to you like personally, or it makes you look at something different that you never have before, or make you think of a topic or think about a situation or a topic that maybe it's not even in this country going on, like thinking of like something that's just like, taking you outside of your own box. Like there's those occasions that like hip hop can do that. I mean, yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna be mature with this shit,
but I know I'm ranting about it maybe, but
no, it's good. It's good passion.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think like maybe like someone like just recently, like how I've been listening to more Nipsey Hussle since he passed away, and hearing actually like some of the messages he was putting out in his music that I had no idea, you know what I mean? And it's just like, whoa, like even someone like that, could just have that attitude towards life and always be positive, and always like every video clip you ever see of him, like he's trying to uplift the community or uplift someone, or, instead of talking down or trying to be a troll or bring on clout or whatever the fuck they say. But
clout.
Anyway, but yeah, you know,
Chasing
and it's like I'll pass it on, but my final thought would be like someone like Atmosphere who will do something to me really emotionally, even if I didn't like recognize, even if I didn't like identify with it at the time. But like one of the biggest examples is Yesterday, a song that Atmosphere wrote about his dad.
Ooh, yeah.
And, yeah, and like I bought the CD. It was When Life Gives You Lemons. I bought the CD and I listened to the whole thing all the way through in my car. And I get to that song, and you know, and you're listening to it for the first time ever, right? And you're thinking like, oh, he's talking about a relationship, or he's talking about an ex-girlfriend. And then at the last second, the very last line, he flips it and he says, "I thought I saw you yesterday, but it wasn't you because you passed away, Dad." And it's like,
hits you right in the
what
field.
the fuck? Yeah, first of all, yeah, it hits you in the field. My dad was alive at the time, but it hits you in the feels first of all. But then it also made me go, "Oh my god, I have to play that entire fucking song back right now."
Yeah, I love songs like that.
Yeah, there's songs like that, and Atmosphere has done that to me multiple times. But that was the main like example I think of where I was like, I had to play the whole thing back and listen to it with the open ear that he's talking about his dad. Oh my god, I could have shared a cigarette, but you know, you and me were both like idiots. You know, it's like,
yeah,
like
so
what,
close.
like this, whatever lines it was. But anyway, so my bad, passing on. But is there something? I know there's I feel like we talk about Sean Price too with you, but Sean Price like speaks to you like in ways like that. Like, is there any other, or even Sean Price like an example?
When you said day to day stuff is Atmosphere for sure. Mm-hmm. But then there's rappers like Sean Price and like just rappers like that they don't inspire me like day to day, but they inspire me to like rap. You know, not like just make. When I listen to certain rappers like Sean Price or some old Wu-Tang or even like just Earl Sweatshirt, like because he's around my age, it's like inspires me to like make music. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not to compete and like I'm gonna be better than them. It just makes me. It inspires me and like influences me to like I'm gonna write a song now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
because a lot of new rappers or not new rappers, but a lot of rappers I listen to it. Like I listen to it, I enjoy the music, but it also like gives me this like fucking fire under my ass that's like telling me like, dude, write a song, dude, like make a rap, like this shit's cool. I like listening to it. Why not rap too and write a song or something? I don't know. I like listening to rap that inspires me to also rap, not just listen to it.
That makes total sense.
Inspiring
like,
stuff. So.
Yeah, when you hear that like one song that like really inspires you and it just like makes you want to like do it. Like,
yeah, whether it's lyrics, just wordplay, how you put words together. It's like I want to do that shit. You know what I mean? Like I want to put words together like that. That sounds cool. I want to try. It's experimenting. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to. Yeah,
exactly.
Let's go for a ride. Woo.
Exactly.
I want to be like that guy.
And that's like the thing. We were talking about Wu-Tang, but Wu-Tang I feel like was one of the first groups or first rappers of all time to incorporate like how they did like the old like karate movies, like the scenes before, like shit like that.
It's like music videos.
When I was making, when I first started making music, like because of that and those type of rappers, that influenced me to like sample or like incorporate like movie scenes in intros of songs and stuff like that. You know, it's not just it's not all about just like how you spit your lyrics, but like incorporating different sounds and incorporating like I remember I listened to the first Wu-Tang album, and then after that I made a song and I put like a Goodfellas scene in the audio, like the beginning of those. Exactly. Just because that shit sounds cool to me, dude. Yeah. You know, it's not just like some crazy intro. Like, you're about to witness the strengths of the street knowledge. NWA, but I want to listen to like a weird little cartoony animated or like sample of a karate movie, and then like they start rapping. I don't know, that shit's like sweet. Or like even skits, exactly. Skits to me is cool as fuck too. I love skits. I love little phone calls or whatever, but before songs. And
I think Ludacris from the Red Light District phone call. It was either that one. Yeah, it was Red Light District. Came out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. I'm a youngin' again. 28 rotations around this earth. So it's like
22 and 3/4.
Hey,
fucking dude, and it was him calling this girl up, and then the girl's boyfriend gets on the phone. He's like, "I'm an OG, dude." Like, he's like, "Yo, who's this?" He's like, "Yo, this is Luda." He's like, "Luda who, dude?" He's just they're going back and forth. He's like, "Luda," and then he finally recognizes him. He's like, "Oh, damn, dude, ain't that bada, bitch? My girl, fucking Luda," you know? And then he goes off. And
I do remember that. Yes, dude. Oh my god. It's one of my
favorite skits.
It took me a second to remember that, but yes.
Yo, what's a skit that sticks out to you?
Oh, I got shit. Well, first, hold on. I wanted to hear from you. Is there something that anything hip hop specifically that's touched you or inspired you, or?
None that I can report to the authorities to get, like molestation charges or anything like that. But
what I thought was cool about when we first met was you told me you were a Grouch and Eli fan.
Yeah,
like, it's hard to meet Grouch and Eli fans.
I was just about to say it's kind of a rare.
It's rare, yeah, like or someone who even knows who Eli is.
Yeah, on the real on that one, I got introduced to that by my friend.
No disrespect to Eli.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. They're both some dope artists, Grouch and Eli. But I first heard the G&E one, the Tortoise and the Crow album, and I was going through like some weird shit, like some sort of like crisis sort of thing, where like nothing really made sense. It was just bad. And I would just listen to that album over and over again. And a lot of it was exactly what I was going through, and then I just like kept it on repeat. And then for me, the whole album was just one like long panic attack, and then just the stages of the thoughts that I go through while I'm going through one, and like the calming down parts. Like the whole thing was like a nice calming up and down for me for the whole album on repeat.
Doesn't it trip you out though when like music does that to you? Like it speaks to you. Like are you fucking talking to me right now?
Yeah,
like I've had that before.
Yeah,
like, is this real therapeutic?
Yeah, like
therapy
for real.
right now?
Do I have to pay you for this?
Yeah, like, I feel like I owe you a bit more than just the album, So that one, shout out to you guys for sure.
That's a great one.
Yeah, so then I just kept listening to them, and then I had heard Living Legends before, but I never knew who they were. They just heard of them
Purple
on the
Kush.
radio or with a bunch of other homies and like their older siblings. They would be listening to them. So. And I just really dug all the raps, like they could rhyme, and it was like all their own style, and it was like about some real shit. Like, just one in particular, no disrespect to any of the other ones, but Grouch has got one about just being in his garden. And I'm like, that's the shit. I love gardening, and it's like simple but it's deep too. It's like deep rooted, and it's still hip hop too. So it's got this funky beat you can jam to and groove to it too. So it's not just like some dude preaching to you about. Or even just talking to you. It's hip hop, and it's got, I don't know, man. It's uplifting too. It inspires you to do it too, not just like, hey, look at me doing it. You suck. You can't be like this.
Right.
Yeah. It's like he actually says like you can do it too if you just try, but you got to look within you. You can't copy my style, sort of stuff like that.
That kind of message.
And he does it so like cool. It's like that man. It's just it inspires me too, and it, just to this day, So that's
pretty shitty to me that there's not too many rappers these days coming out. They don't try and tell like what you're saying. They don't give that message out. You could do it too. It's kind of like all about me and what I got and all my money and blah blah blah. It's like I want to get inspired, bro. I want a rapper to tell me I could do it too.
Yeah, right. Like you could be right here.
Right.
Inspired. That's what I was gonna say. Like Scapegoat by. I know I talk about the song all the time, but because I'm like I was into conspiracies, not just conspiracies, but like think about life in different fucking. In a different perspective, but I remember that song. When I listened to that song, I was like, it kind of like just showed me like Jesus, dude, it's everywhere. Like that's the entire song.
By Dimebag.
Dude,
Gushers. Dimebag.
Yes, please.
Gushers.
Gushers.
By Dimebag.
Burn
Delicious.
that.
We're promoting that shit right now. Can you sponsor us?
We are
dude?
in a state that is legal.
That is true. And Denver just legalized mushrooms or decriminalized mushrooms.
That's right.
They're flexing on the whole country.
Straight up, that's weird.
They haven't even legalized weed in like half this country.
Yeah, we got mushrooms, dog.
Well, I mean, I guess most of the country now, but still, mushrooms already.
It's weird that weed
Oregon's right
being
behind them,
legalized.
Yeah.
Weed being legalized. I've been smoking weed like it was legal for fucking years now. It's just just like it's got its own label. Now it's actually legal, but
It's
I
crazy.
think it's cool. I like it.
Heck yeah, that's the way it should be, and it's getting more and more. That stigma's going away, further and further away. Eventually, it'll be federally legal. But.
Yeah, I mean, you got people drinking beers, taking shots of tequila all day, then
Right.
popping their Tylenol and their Xannies and stuff like that
Yeah,
on
bring up the
TV in front of
whole
kids.
Well, they have
Narcotics
commercials for
epidemic,
it. You know what I mean? They have commercials
Like-
for whiskey and shit. It's like that shit will fuck you up way faster than a
Right.
fucking joint will.
I got little siblings
depressant
that hear
versus
that mainstream stuff. I mean, it's cool because it's catchy for sure. The producers do a great job of making that shit catchy, and the artists do a great job of making that shit catchy as well. No disrespect, again. However, it's like there's just like I don't know. The Weeknd said it best, really. One of his songs.
Yeah.
Is it Reminder? Yeah.
Dude, the Reminder?
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Just my shit. I've jammed that all
like,
summer.
The
that
line
summer.
was like quote The Weeknd, won a new award on a kids show talking about a face numbing off a bag of blow.
Yeah.
Just like not a teen choice. Like, come on, man. He's not. He was talking truth on that one for sure. And I love him for that. I mean, I know he's one of those artists that does the aspect of look what I got, you can't do this, but you know, still no disrespect. Again,
I fuck
that's
with
just
Weeknd.
I do too. That's
too.
again,
Super
these are just my
talented.
opinions. Get your own opinion, right?
Yeah, there you go. See, that's what's
I
up.
am at the corner store. Oh shit.
Yeah,
But I
so-
do want to go back to the skits. I love that question. Skits on albums that stand out on certain rap albums, because that's like such like a big thing, like with like rap albums, and like I feel like they still do it. Like certain artists will still like do hella skits sometimes, but I mean I don't not that I always want to hear a bunch of skits like on an album. But the ones that stand out to me, there was one. Okay, Coolio's "Gangsta's Paradise," number one.
Oh.
Because I was
Yep.
9 years old. Okay,
You good?
my birthday. Oh yeah, you guys good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
I popped it out. My bad.
Beautiful.
That's my bad.
9 years old. I love the song "Gangsta's Paradise." My mom buys me the tape, the cassette tape. It comes out on the cake, and all my friends.
He's cassette tape old.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
I'm like
cassette
now
tape
CDs old.
old. Now
So I'm like not old, but I'm not young. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
I like
I'm
that.
gonna transition from Atari to Nintendo old.
I'm the 64 to PS2. I skipped PS1. Anyways, yeah.
There's a generational gap there.
Yeah.
90s baby, but they call me a millennial, so
Dude.
Are we all
Apparently I am too, yeah. It's
I
fucking weird.
work, so I don't know where this other half of millennials it's not working is, because it's definitely not me.
Yeah, that's
People
what
I
I'm
hang
saying.
out with.
Like I thought I
sucks.
was generation X or whatever.
Because the new one's Z. There's something after millennials
Yeah.
now. It's
Or
Z,
Generation
which is
Y.
awesome. But don't fucking
Yeah,
affiliate me with.
I can
those-
hear it. There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit is just
It's whack. I moved it because I suck.
you're good.
Coolio on cassette.
Coolio on cassette. My mom buys this for me, right?
Jesus Christ!
Only
You're still
because-
alive?
Only because me and this neighborhood girl, when I was young, we would sit there and
Intermission.
do the music video where Michelle Pfeiffer and Coolio are sitting there.
Back water.
Oh yeah, I don't need any, but yeah, give some for Ty.
Please,
For
I
Cuffs.
appreciate you.
The music. I don't know if you've ever seen the music video for that, but Michelle Pfeiffer comes in and sits down, and Coolio's like, "As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,"
Yeah, yeah.
she like visits him in jail or whatever. So like we used to act that out, me and this like little white girl from the neighborhood, right?
Dude.
So funny. And we'd like sit there and rap it. And anyway, so my mom buys me the tape, you know, not even seeing the parental advisory like sticker on the front of it, not even like realizing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like my little birthday party for my ninth birthday party. It's like a small little thing. It's like nighttime, and I have like 4 or 5 friends over that are like about my age, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, and she brings out the cake, and the cake has the tape on it.
Oh, there it is. That's
And
classic.
she's like, let's put it in, and she puts the tape in, and the first track is a skit. And it's like, what's up, motherfucker?
Oh,
He's like,
God,
what's up with
no.
you, motherfucker? And they're just like, nothing, just slaying this fucking dope over here. And these motherfuckers
God,
like, and my mom's like, nope, click, and like turned it off. And she like had no idea that it was
no,
gonna be
dude.
like that, right? And so she took it away from me for like a few weeks, and like until I kind of convinced her. I begged her. I was like, I just want to hear the one song, you know.
Right.
And finally, she gave it back to me, and I listened to the whole thing, obviously. But I remember listening to that whole album, and that's one of the skits that like first stood out to me as a kid, like
that's
hearing,
nuts.
you know, on a rap album. Yeah,
Dude, that'd be about as bad as in my time if you bought an Eminem album and it was that one that was like, because you have purchased this album,
Yes.
you have just sucked his dick.
exactly, dude, exactly.
Like that was the and for sure he was the new the new big thing in my little kid world, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Growing up with like 90s and then
I remember that too, though. That first album, yeah, that was my next experience, I think, with one, because I was like 13 and I begged my mom to buy me that, and I got that.
I mean, that was after Beastie Boys, obviously, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Beastie
But,
Boys confused me because that was the first one I had heard on both the rock channel and the hip hop channel.
Yeah,
and I was
see?
still like a radio kid, so like listening to the radio a bunch. Like that was before 1079 had done that water challenge, unfortunately. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that, dude.
That's where I heard them.
I
On
mean, that was way before. Yeah.
I heard it on like 98 Rock, and then like 103.5 or something like that.
Yeah,
those were
exactly.
at least those were the channels when I was growing up.
Because to me they're like hip hop and they have their place in hip hop history, but they've always called themselves a punk band. I feel like, and they always play their own instruments and everything, and it's not always electronic.
I heard that it was it started out as a high school project for him.
That would make sense.
And it just grew into this big thing.
That's so cool, man.
I could be wrong on that.
MCA
Fact
too.
check me.
The last
I'm okay to learn.
The last Beastie Boys album was really good. Hot Sauce. I think it's called Hot Sauce Committee Part 2. And that album is just really good. The one right before MCA passed away.
R.I.P.
But also, Cash Money Records. Cash Money would always have some really funny skits too. Actually,
Gentleman and a Scholar, the Oskeeet.
The Oskeeet.
Sorry.
Raps
Good
about
skit.
some
You know what a good
whack
skit is?
stuff,
It's Pump
but,
Up by Snoop Dogg.
Okay, get into
Good
that.
shit.
What's that one?
That's some good shit.
Pump Pump by Snoop Dogg. What album is that on? The first Snoop album?
Yeah, it's Doggy Style.
Doggy Style.
Like it's some little party. I don't know how it went, and man, I'm Sam Snead. You better recognize.
Oh,
yo,
dude.
bitch chose me.
Oh, dude, that's okay. I do remember that. Dude, bring me back to like so many like ones that I listened to, like older kids like played, like when I was like 7, 8 years old or whatever, and like the older kid in the neighborhood would play shit like that. I remember him like playing that like when I was a kid.
I think I heard some underground shit of some dude just straight bucking this girl at one point, and then he started rapping after that. I think, but it was a song, yeah. And my buddy was showing it on this big ass like stereos were a thing back then, like when you had a stereo that could play tapes and CDs at the same time, but it had like
record,
big ass speakers.
Monumental,
dude. Like RCA sometimes would have them.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
for
God.
sure.
Yeah,
I can remember that shit. So I am kind of old, I guess.
and
Yeah, we're all 90s kids.
Were you guys ever? I know you were, but Coast, were you ever? You like buy CDs or like buy physically have, because that was before that was before my time too. You can just stream everything online. So yeah, I had to go have my mom take me to buy CDs and
I had to
have
buy
the
CDs.
manual, the cover art, and all that shit. I loved doing that shit back in the
me
day.
too.
It's just not a thing for me anymore.
They had the lyrics sometimes in them, so I'd read the lyrics and go
Yeah,
along with it and shit.
Yeah,
And all the credits, you got to see who was the producer.
Yeah.
You
had to find out which songs you didn't like.
Me. Yeah, exactly.
You spent like $11
So like
$11
artist
on it.
notes.
You had to just like gamble it sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes you didn't like the whole CD. It was just like, I only like these 3 songs, and you'd skip to those 3 songs and repeat them
I like
over
track
and over
6,
again.
7, and like 4, whatever.
Dude,
The
that's
single is on 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
that's so real. That's a great podcast topic right there. Because here it is. Okay, what's your biggest gamble and win on a CD? Like where you really like the single, or you barely knew the artist, but you bought their CD and it was fire, the whole thing.
Oh fuck, dude.
Do you have one like that? I have one.
I've got a few, but yeah, go for it.
I can't. No,
Strange music artist called Mayday.
Oh,
You guys know Mayday?
You bought a
Yeah,
Mayday
yeah.
CD?
Bro, okay, I never heard of them. All I seen was I worked at Dimple Records at the time, and this is how I would find out about new artists and shit. It was like just random CDs would come through, right? This Mayday CD pops up, and I'm like, and I look at it and I go, oh, okay, Strange Music, they're signed to Tech Nine, that's cool, whatever. I'm like, I wonder what they sound like, right? It's Tech Nine. Like I have the attitude towards Tech Nine that you and me have right now when Brian's like around. Okay, right?
Yeah.
But even then, I was like, Tech Nine, whatever. But then I was like, okay, I saw that Merce was on the album, and I was like, oh, I fuck with Merce hard. So I'm like, okay, if Merce fucks with them, like they might be dope.
They just might be dope.
The album was called Take Me to Your Leader, I think. something like that. Anyway, but it was a great album. I bought it and I loved like from the it's one of those albums literally from like track 1 to the end. Like it's you can listen to the whole thing. I don't have any skips on it. Maybe one or two skips maybe.
Was it the house or like in the car when you listened to it?
Mostly the car back in the day because I had the CD player in the car and I would be driving to like work or wherever, all the time. And that's mostly where I would listen to most of my albums.
Walkman and try to fit it in my pocket, dude. I used to
have the skip protection.
Yeah,
that it didn't fucking work.
Oh, that's right. It never worked
because it worked if you like never really walked. Kind of, you'd have to like kind of shuffle like an old lady walk to not make it skip.
Yeah, to like make it so you didn't like move it too much.
But otherwise, it would just bounce against your leg like a fucking porno star's fat floppy dick.
Literally, dude.
And then skip on your favorite
disc.
part.
Floppy disc.
That's probably where the nerds got it from, dude.
Bro, that's so real though, man. Oh my god,
like,
skip protection.
Because nowadays they're coming out with big ass headphones and they're hella cool or whatever. But like, I was happy when they transitioned into small like earbuds because just remember those like shitty ass like Sony like with the little padding on them headphones. I don't know. I mean,
those ones were
listening
terrible,
to music was kind of a bitch back in the day with your Walkman, dude.
It was
Especially
terrible.
I was
terrible
like going
quality.
I was going skating and shit with a Walkman. Like it just didn't work, bro.
No,
the
Put
skaters
that shit
for me like that.
in your jeans, dude.
In the jeans.
People saw where
Wear
it was going
shoelaces
with
for
like the
belts.
MP3 player. Like that was
Anything else hurts real bad when you beef it.
Straight up.
But yeah, I forget. See, yeah, Coast is like a real skater too.
What was your answer on that one? The album you took a gamble on.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like, dude, do you have one that you've gambled on and you actually were like, this is fire? And it doesn't even have to be rap.
Dude,
like,
I mean, this is going to make me sound so lame, but like I used to just get the Now CDs, bro, because I was like young when CDs were still cool, but it'd be like Now CDs, it'd be like random ass Kelly Clarkson songs, but then it'd be like a Juvenile. I'm like, I want the Juvenile song. Skip through the fucking AFI and all that random shit, and then like Juvenile or like
they would have
I like the AFI shit.
That's weird. Does Now still?
I thought you would.
Does Now still put those out? Like, I mean, they may not put CDs out anymore, obviously, but do they make like playlists on Spotify or something?
Hopefully
like that?
not.
Now that's what I call Music 66.
That would be hilarious.
Kids Bop.
All the Star Wars nerds go crazy.
Someone in the comments, if anyone watches this podcast, which they may not, but look that up.
Better fucking listen to it. God damn it.
If you don't listen to it, we don't blame you.
If you don't listen to it, I fucking blame you, and I know where the fuck you live at too.
See.
Do you have one? Did you have one, Coast, that...
Oh yeah, the one that I can really pick out.
Yeah, go for it.
Shit.
Simple plan.
Dude, Simple Plan was fire all the way
Dude,
through.
they were,
No
dude.
gamble.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that.
dude.
I would have to say Disturbed.
Oh my god, I haven't.
Really?
Is that Down with the
Wait, which
Sickness?
one?
Yeah,
The
that was
album-
Down with the Sickness.
The album with the where
Yeah.
the guy's head's coming out the
Exactly, that first album. Not that first. I think it was their first album, but it was the first album I had heard. It was
That
like
was
when
like their
Papa Roach
biggest
came out,
one,
like
right? Yeah.
Infest and stuff, and that was
Dude,
like the
Papa
CDs I was trying to get into.
Were you into? I know you were, but like, were you into that? Like, kind of like not just hip hop, but like that fucking. I guess
Dude, I was
punk
like
or
everything, dude.
Because I was super into like a
I didn't get much
Alien
into...
Ant Farm. Like that was my shit
Okay,
back in the
Farm,
day.
yeah.
The
dude.
only Alien Ant Farm I know
Shit.
is their cover
They're
of
such a
Smooth
good band. They're
Criminals.
so underrated. I feel
Eddie, are
like.
you okay? They're like,
Yeah,
they're like
that's the only
tilting, they're like
Alien Ant Farm I
tilting
know,
on that
but-
wrestling ring in the video.
Yeah.
They were just Michael Jacksoning it, but I loved it because
I
that
love
was
that shit.
I love that '90s music video punk style. Like that was my shit back in the day. From
Sum
like
41
Sum
was
41
my
exactly.
Dude, Sum 41 was the shit, dude.
fine,
I remember that.
dude.
I
Sum
was
41,
waiting-
Sum 41.
I'm still
is the
waiting
shit.
for the Sum 41 hip
I
hop
don't want to
album.
waste my time.
They were supposed to come out with a rap album, weren't they?
Sum
Because
41.
they rap. If you hear them like on some of their tracks, like they were supposed. From what I heard,
don't.
after that song became popular, I heard that they were supposed to put out a hip hop record, and I never heard it. But
I don't know. They might have.
I would have bought that. I would have listened to that.
No, it's at all. We don't care when old people fall. Like, dude, that
What
was
would you expect
that
with a
was-
conja so small?
Dude, that
That's
was
so
the
funny.
shit when I was like, that was like skateboarding music. That was like just the scene,
yeah.
you
I
know?
would
Like, remember
definitely skate to
the
that.
MTV songs, like the videos would come up, but it was the
When
white
MTV had
text.
music.
It was
Oh, yeah,
exactly the
bro.
white text when the music video came on, like producer, the label. I don't know.
The
I just-
director,
the
the album that it was on, everything.
Yeah.
Damn, that's old school. I love that.
Yeah, those are my shit. But yeah, Disturbed,
I
that
used
first
to-
album, was my gamble. It was all dope.
That's a
though.
good one.
I loved it.
I don't know that album, but
My first.
I know that album from working in the record store, from just like singing it so many times, but never like listened to it. You know,
My first CD I ever had was like a little Bow Wow. the first.
Nice.
Shit was tight. What was
Bow
that?
Wow, wow, yippee, where my dogs at? Bought
Yeah,
me
yeah, dude.
That was my first album I ever fucking owned, ever, dude. My neighbor gave it to me. I was like, I am so cool. This dude has cornrows. He's awesome. He's like my age almost.
That's awesome.
And then he was in like Mike, you know what I mean? Like
That
early
was my shit
2000s.
back then.
Oh
feel
yeah,
like-
Like Mike.
I definitely remember that movie.
I just feel like the early 2000s, late 90s for you guys, like I don't know, like I guess I'm older, but when I think back to like kids these days are gonna think back when they're like 30, 40, they're gonna like, yeah, Little Yachty or ball. It's like when I look back, it's like fucking Exhibit and like all that DMX and shit. That was like the cool
Exactly.
rap, and like these kids these
listening to
days,
that,
like
yeah.
I know it's not their fault because they were born after, but it's like Little Yachty really wasn't monumental. Like DMX and all that shit, and like even like when you could talk about like AFI, like Sip, all that shit. To me, that was like that like shaped who I was as a kid. You know, that's how strong music is, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
that shit was cool as fuck back in the day.
But you also listen to like you're like us, like you listen to everything too.
Oh, I
like,
listen-
you're you were also really into like reggae, like Bob
Oh my
Marley.
God, I was on a reggae
And
I was
Slightly
on a reggae
Stupid,
band.
and,
Also,
and
yeah.
like you were like one of the youngest kids I knew at the time, like who knew who Slightly Stupid was.
That was
I
my
like,
first concert I've ever been to. Slightly Stupid and Snoop Dogg, dude.
That's so tight.
7th grade, first time I ever smoked pot. 2008, I think it was.
No shit. You can't just go to that and not smoke pot.
I know we're like, oh, this is so cool. It smells like skunks everywhere. This is weed, and now like weed's next to me, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just weed. It's so normal. It's so normal these days. But
do it
back
all
in
the
the
time,
day,
man.
back in the day when like before you were really smoking or you just started, it was like such a big deal. Like watching out for cops and blah blah blah. But now it's just like it's legal. Fuck it.
It's
It's
legal
awesome.
now.
Yeah. So, do you think? Do you think that the youth today aren't looking back because there's just so much out there right now, and just like so much that they can't dig through all of it to get to it,
That's a
or
great
do
question.
you think
In
they're
it,
not
that's a
motivated
that's a
to?
really good question. I think it has to do with that. There's because when you think there's so much fucking music out there. There's music from the 60s that we don't know, or 70s, 80s we don't know, 90s. But
Right, but did you pick up the motivation yourself to like start digging and know what you guys know?
yeah,
or was
I
it,
don't know
like-
where it came from, but I've always been like
Yeah.
the hip hop kind of head. Like I don't know where it came from. There's no inspiration that made me listen to it. Like there's no person that like put me on it. It was just like I kind of just drifted towards like that type of shit. Like I think kids, like you're saying, there's so much to look back on, but I also think it's like just different times, you know, like rap now compared to rap and even the early 2000s, maybe even the mid 2000s is so much different, you know what I mean? Like face tattoos and mumbling wasn't even a thing. Think about it, like 7 years ago, that wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, I mean, you were like either in the circus or just
Yeah.
really hardcore and it'd kill
Yeah,
people. and
it wasn't
probably in
even.
jail.
Yeah,
True that,
if you had
yeah.
face tattoos
No
and you were
disrespect,
mumbling,
but-
it wasn't. You weren't like 7 years ago. If you had face tattoos, you have a cross between your eyes, and you were mumbling, you weren't a rapper. You're like some crazy like butthole surfers or like those weirdo
Or some
fucking. You know what I
Helter
mean?
Skelter type shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Charlie Manson, dude.
For real.
That's just, yeah, that's how it was. Like kidnapping was a big thing growing up for me.
Real
you
shit,
professional?
though.
You're professional.
No, I
Just
did
being-
the kidnapping, but like I had to watch out for it.
Being
like, that's what all the
terrified of it, right?
Yeah.
Same here. I
But
was
actually,
Actually,
terrified
that's
of
a
that as
good point
kid.
because like growing up, I feel like that was such a like every parent for the most part that was like a thing. Like you don't talk to strangers, and now I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's free game these days. No, there's I don't know,
Internet,
dude.
free web, and you're just
literally, dude. It's
Everyone
the fucking.
sees what you're doing, right?
It's
Exactly.
weird.
They can
dude.
watch you, like, instead of like you can't go out there because I see a weird van, stay in the house and play. Like you're safe from that person. Now it's just like no, they're
could
inside
be-
and that person's watching whatever.
Yeah,
they
they
got
This
don't
going
shit
know
on.
stems to me. This
anymore.
makes me think of Chris Hansen, the Catch a Predator. Take a seat.
Just
She said she was 18, dude.
I
That's what I
swear
think.
she was 18.
I don't know,
Yeah,
dude. I
that's
just
some
think times have changed so fucking fast, bro. Like, and I'm not some old ass fucking dude like reminiscent. I'm just like from my growing up, and I compare myself to the kids growing up, and like shit's so music, media, all it's so fucking different, dude. I don't
That's
know.
true. Yeah, no, it evolves and it always changes. And
Yes.
to kind of answer like your question earlier too, like Yeah, like I really just listened. I was into rap. I just loved rap music, but I would listen to whatever was on the radio or on TV, right? And like that's all you heard. Like I didn't even like think twice about it. But then you realize, no, you know what? You can dig even a little bit deeper, and you can find this like stuff with substance, and you can find this real cool like artistry or this little niche that you really like, you know, that speaks to you or whatever. You know what I mean? That's still hip hop, but sounds maybe like this way, or doesn't sound like traditional like rap, or what's like popular on the radio, or just like what pop records out.
Rage Against the Machine, because I was growing up on Rage Against the Machine, and that is fucking. No one will ever be able to mimic Rage Against the Machine how they did it. True. That's how I kind of say how Black Sabbath started metal. Like Black Sabbath's my favorite band of all time, but like Rage Against the Machine, it's like Zach De La Rocha is. Yeah, I was growing up, I was like, this fool's rapping, but he's in a band. I don't know, it's just like
some
more
crazy rebel truth too. Dude, at the time, too.
He's
like
so
conspiracy
because you even think about the
like
name Rage Against the Machine. You think about their own name, Rage Against the Machine. Like the machine.
Then you watch the Matrix and shit, and it's like, fuck.
Dude, seriously, dude, exactly though. It's so true.
I even think. I mean, I'm not. I just every time I think of the Matrix, I think about just certain movies that came out even in that time frame, like. A movie that's really special to me, I guess, is even like Fight Club. Like I feel like it's kind of hard
same here,
to
99,
like.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Dude, 1999 was such a good year for movies.
Because I mean, this is not
good year.
Good year for movies.
That was a good year for movies. On the side of the screen.
I just think of like even movies, like there's definitely great directors and movies still coming out, but I even think like I don't know if you guys are on that. I know like the whole superhero and all these like Avengers and Endgame. It's hella cool. I get it, but like
I'm on it. I am on it. I go and see them by myself. Like I don't give a fuck. I'll go on Tuesday and I went and watched Endgame by myself.
I got a serious question for you right now, both of you. Do you guys feel comfortable like going to movie theaters these days? Like talking about shooting wise.
I don't know.
I don't either. I avoid going to movies because I don't want to get shot.
Dude,
I'm paranoid, but I don't care.
Okay, ever since what happened at the Batman movie
Colorado?
situation. That was pretty ever since that happened, I think about it every time. But I'm still like I don't like scare myself into it, so I'll still go to the movies by myself. Even though I go like random times, like usually like on Tuesdays, like during the afternoon, like at 1 in the afternoon.
That's
like,
a safe.
No one's there. I'm by myself. I really don't want to like sit around with anyone. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like $5 to like go to a movie like on a Tuesday in the afternoon. Like everyone's at work. You know what I mean? But anyway. I like doing that, yeah, but every time I go to the movies, I think about that.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is that a
every time? Oh yeah. Oh, I go. That today could be, but nowadays, just the way the fucking world is, dude, it's so crazy because I think about it anywhere I go. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel safe going to a store or a mall. Like I feel like someone's gonna go to a Walmart.
Sometimes I'm paranoid, so
knows?
I'm kind of extra with it. But
it's
sometimes
so
even at work, I'm like, dude, like you never know. You know what I mean? Like,
so I'm happy with the new facility we got. It's
with our job, yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say like it could be super sketchy, but luckily we have like armed guards and like someone like that's on security 24/7. Like
yeah,
I feel a little safer with that. Yeah, you know,
I felt that way too. Like I just started this new job and it's this high kind of techie company or whatever. But even like last 2 weekends ago, I remember telling you about this because I had the day off because of it. Like there was a ex-employee who like did a threat again. I was like, I can't get away from it, dude. Like, just leave me alone. I just want to pay bills, dude. All right, like, straight
exactly.
Up. It's just
that is scary, yeah. And,
that's why like I used to love. That was one of my hobbies. I know that's like the classic go on a date shit, go to the movies. But even like by myself, I could go to the movies by myself for sure.
Oh, definitely.
I love it's like almost therapeutic to just do things by yourself, like but like
exactly.
it sucks how what shit has come to where if I'm in the movies by myself, every person that walks in like that's gonna sit down, I'm like eyeing them, like just making sure, like are you a potential something? You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's sit next to me, weirdo.
Straight up. If you sit next to me, I'm gonna be your best friend for the next 2 hours. All right,
right.
I'm gonna talk the whole movie right to you. Just
you want my number, bro?
Dude. Hey, this is a really scary part, huh? Oh, I hope he doesn't go in that room. Oh my god. Don't go in that room.
Don't go in there.
Guys just sitting there like, oh,
Why did I sit next to this kid?
But do you
thinks
think
you're the
like
serial
these
killer
new
now.
like do you think like these new movies coming out, like I'm like just like hip hop, I'm the same way with movies, like do you think they're kind of, I don't know, corny, but it's like all the Rock, like, say the Rock for example, every movie that the Rock comes out in, I don't want to see it. It's not the Rock, but it's just the
great
fact that it's just
question,
number
yeah.
one, like it's just gonna be crazy unrealistic action shit. When I think of good movies in the last like 10-15 years, I say like The Departed, like No Country for Old Men. Like I like real ass shit.
I think that's called Nicolas Caging, when you see somebody in a movie so many times that all you can do is just see the actor.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like I remember when
That
you
makes
were,
sense.
I remember when,
Nicolas Cage,
I
for
remember when I
sure.
was a little kid and
That's real.
The Rock comes out with a stupid tattoo of the bull on his arm.
I
And
love that
nowadays he's fucking
The
just
Brahma bull,
he's
dog.
like killing monsters and like dragons and like he's in the Fast Fear. I don't know.
Yeah, The
Dude, The
Rock.
Rock
I can
is
see
the
that from
people's
The Rock,
champion.
and he can do some watered down, kind of corny stuff.
Like I like The Rock. Don't get me
I
wrong.
think he does. He's kind of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, like of today, kind of.
That's
Like
a
he's
perfect- that is
he's
a
just like the
perfect
action.
analogy.
He's like the '90s action star for the 2000s, like the late 2000s. So like I can totally see that. Like you look back at a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger, like some of his like movies were kind of corny, you know, even though like they were like fun, just like goofy action movies. Like, and that's what I feel like The Rock does, and like he does some more. I feel like he's a good actor. I feel like he can pull off like a serious role if he had to. You know what I mean? But
I'm just like,
but I feel like the day of the movie being sold by just the actor in the movie is like gone. Like I don't feel like people just go to the movie to see that specific actor. Like they go to see like a good story to be told. Like you know what I mean? Like and you can still find those movies. I guarantee that I've seen a lot of great movies. Even some of these comic book movies. Like if you've gotten like really deep into the stories and stuff, like they have like great heart and like I was saying, character development and certain things. But
Theories, Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, exactly. I don't know
yeah,
where I was going with it. but-
I know you got your movie just because like I put movies and music in the same. Like I've always drifted off into like I like real rap. I like real movies.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like
And
Tales from the
they
Hood,
still make
Leprechaun
those,
in the
those are
Hood.
still a
Leprechaun.
thing, dude.
Did you just say Leprechaun in the Hood?
Yeah, dude, these are all Snoop Dogg horror movies. I know.
God.
Dude, that's dope. Snoop's in that movie?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in Tales from the Hood, Leprechaun in the Hood. Because if anything's
Got
in
it.
the hood,
Uh-huh.
Snoop Dogg is up in it too.
Snoop's in the hood for
He
sure.
was in you know what a good movie he was in is he was in the wheelchair at the time.
Bones. Remember
He
Bones?
was in Jesus. He was
He
in
was a vampire.
Training Day. He was the dude in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right, dude.
That was a good
dude,
fucking
Snoop
movie.
has been in a lot of movies, man. That's another good one right
Snoop's the
there. Like,
world's
what's your
uncle.
favorite Snoop role?
Like, he doesn't care what color or skin you are. He's like the world's uncle.
Yeah,
Like, literally.
I like that. He's
Uncle
the
calls
world's
everybody
uncle.
nephew,
He's uncle,
pretty
uncle-
sure.
Yeah, he calls everybody
Yeah, but
nephew.
that do. Like he used to say that in his. Like, I don't know, dude. That's
the
one
man.
person I want to be as smooth as personality wise is Snoop Dogg. He's like
Yeah.
the smoothest, like relaxed, cool fucking dude you want to be, dude. I want to be that guy.
So laid back. He's so laid.
They say he says it himself, dude.
Exactly.
A lot of
With my
a lot of
mind.
cats that come through that we know, and a lot of cats that I've seen that have been some hardcore gangsters before. Like they made it through. I don't know if they're out, but they're out. Like they're old heads now, but they were like hardcore gang members before.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they are the chillest motherfuckers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they talk about
Sure.
the craziest
Exactly.
shit, but they're as cool as Snoop Dogg though, and they're
You
talking
wouldn't
about
mess
it.
with him, yeah.
And, yeah, you'd respect them for sure. But,
Exactly.
It's weird that
but they're so cool. You'd give them a hug too. You're like,
Exactly.
dude.
The,
Word.
the way you said that, because I would meet dudes when I would be skating in San Jose, like at the park, we just like come across like dudes who just walk by and like start a conversation. It's not like you're gonna avoid them, like. But you could see and you could tell they've been through some shit, some sketchy shit. But like they're older now, and like now they're just like, what's up, man? Like just hella cool.
Yeah,
It's like I like that shit.
I could murk you, and I don't really care right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
That's the look I
But
get.
you know what? Nowadays, I
That's
put
what
my
sex
gun in
is.
the safe, dog. Back in the day, it was in my
Word
jeans,
up.
and now it's in my safe.
Word
Keep
up.
it chill.
Bird up, dude.
Bird up. Bum, 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 bum. But what was that? Where was I going with that?
Movies, rock. So
movies. Okay, yeah, you were saying.
didn't have
Do
a lot of
do
heart going on.
you think they're corny? I feel like you can find good movies still. You just got to kind of dig a little bit, like you have to dig for hip hop. You know what I
Okay.
mean? There is going to be pop. There is going to be the fluff. There is going to be the Oscar bait. There is going to be the
corny CGI.
cheap stuff.
Okay, I was gonna. The fucking new Quentin Tarantino.
I just watched the trailer for that.
That
Have you
looks
seen it?
amazing.
It looks it looks incredible.
Quentin
Another
Tarantino, in my
Quentin
opinion,
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino cannot go wrong, dude. Anything he makes, I will watch and I will support.
It's-
I love that dude.
It's Leo DiCaprio,
Brad
Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate.
Al Pacino, dude.
Al Pacino
Al
makes a little like thing in it.
Pacino.
Yeah.
Say hello to my somewhat big friend, I guess.
fucking
Chino, dude. Fuck.
But that movie
Frappuccino
looks
latte.
awesome, man. But it looks like it's going to be kind of sketch too, because they're involving Charles Manson. They're
Yeah.
involving the Manson murders, and Sharon Tate was involved in that.
I can't wait to see
playing
that
Sharon,
scene.
and Margot Robbie's playing Sharon Tate in the movie. And it's like, okay, and they even like kind of in the trailer.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, yeah. They even in the trailer kind of call back
Ain't that
to
about a bitch.
Inglorious Bastards, which
Great.
what altered history in that movie, right? Where they fucking kill Hitler or whatever.
Dude,
right?
I
Spoiler
love that,
alert,
though.
if you haven't
Sorry, yeah, if you haven't seen
If
it.
you haven't seen Inglourious Basterds in 2019, you're a fucking idiot.
Sorry, I never get to talk about movies, but this is awesome because
Hashtag
I watch all this shit all the time.
Bam.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Air pound.
But but so is that what he's going to do with this movie? Is he going
Great.
to do an altered like thing where they fucking shoot Manson and
That is a
like
great
or kill him
fucking
some way and Sharon Tate?
That is such a great, because I didn't even think about that till right now, because he
Is
could
that what
do
is he-
that. He has the
that's what I'm
power to
saying.
do that. He has the power. Quentin Tarantino has the power, because when you think about it, yeah, they shot Hitler in the fucking movie theater,
right?
so they could do
He
that.
could change the Manson murders.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Quentin's awesome.
Do you
Makes-
think that's a smart move or a sketchy move, or do you think it doesn't matter when a director alters? Like, let's say someone isn't educated on World War II and they watch
Right.
Inglourious Bastards and they see Hitler, and they go tell their friends, yeah, like talking about World War II, yeah, well,
That's
that's
a good
crazy that
point.
Hitler got
Yeah.
killed in the movie theater. It's like, no, he fucking didn't.
Yeah, like
dude.
that wasn't like did he? I don't remember if they put something in the beginning of the movie saying like the.
I mean, that's on the
this
parents
is
on
like
that one.
this is fantasy or not. But I don't remember if they like warned. But he should do that maybe
They
if he's
didn't.
going to do something like that. But yeah, like I think it's a cool idea just for because it's Quentin Tarantino and he would do something like that, and like I want to see where his mind would go with it maybe. But also it's like, yeah, it's weird like because it's altering history and obviously like the Academy doesn't like that normally. So like if he's going for like Oscars or like Academy Awards, he may not, they may not like that too much where they don't traditionally like where they alter history or whatever. But who knows? Like, who knows? I don't know. Oh, my bad. I don't mean to talk over
No,
you, but what do you think? Like,
Oh, I didn't have anything. I was playing air drums.
yeah.
I was-
Air pound?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But who knows where he's gonna go with it? But it looks like a great movie.
But I think that's a good,
They-
kind of a good kind of subject, like, to make a movie about. I mean, of course, Quentin Tarantino's going to come out of nowhere and do something that has to do with Charles Manson. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because but it also seems like it's mostly about the relationship between Leonardo, who's an actor in the movie,
and Brad
like,
Pitt's like the
Brad
stuntman.
Pitt's the
It's like
stuntman.
60s.
And,
Like,
yeah, it's
the
like
change of how
1969.
movies are
Yeah,
made.
so I think it's gonna be mostly about that, but I feel like they're gonna intertwine the Manson shit in there. and
when
it's
you got to
gonna
think
be
Quentin
weird.
Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino makes a movie, there's going to be some sort of blood and guts
Oh,
involved.
for sure. There's gonna be some violence.
That's time. That's the time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
And
seen
I
a
love it.
Quentin Tarantino film that doesn't have some sort of blood or violence.
Yeah, I've never
Bro.
seen a Quentin Tarantino. I've seen all. This is his 9th film. I've seen every
yeah.
single one of his. Even Jackie Brown. Remember that movie?
I do remember Jackie Brown, but I need to go back and watch it.
It wasn't his best,
a long time ago.
but you at the same time, yeah, they still get shot in the dome.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Like,
there's.
In the
But when you were talking about the
Oh,
violence, the first thing that came to mind was Reservoir Dogs.
oh
yeah,
my
Reservoirs.
god, that the very like last scene, like that gave me anxiety. How Tim Roth is just dying, bleeding out Mr. I think I don't know what Mr. he is. He's
Oh,
Mr.
yes.
Blah blah. And I love how
forget too,
Steve Buscemi is Mr. Pink. Why am I gonna be Mr. Pink?
Mr. Pink.
Classic.
Guy's a hero. Love
Yeah,
him.
he's a hero. He's got fucked up teeth. He's a hero.
Hero.
I love that guy.
He dies in every
Love
movie.
that movie, yeah.
In the Big Lebowski, he dies. Out of all the deaths he's had in the Big Lebowski, he dies from a heart attack. I think
God,
it's
love the Big
funny as
Lebowski.
fuck. The dude.
That's right. Oh my god.
Definitely gotta put like the massive spoiler alert warning in front of this one.
That's true. Yeah. 'cause,
Oh no,
we're
no
spoiling
spoiler.
all
alert.
these-
Oh, you want to watch
all
Big
these 90s
Lebowski?
movies.
They all die at the end.
All that.
we all die at the end.
Apocalypse. It's actually the Armageddon prequel. Yeah. Prequel.
Are you guys familiar with like Stanley Kubrick like films?
Yeah.
Like I've been watching Full Metal. I remember the first time. Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Full
Yeah.
Metal Jacket's like the first one I ever
It's
saw.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Private Pile. That
That movie
movie
is
fucked me up,
crazy.
dude. Those movies that really like
That movie's intense.
those movies that I think the
Mike
movies
Campbell.
that really like get you in a. I remember watching Full Metal Jacket, and after I watched, it, I was like disturbed. I was like, oh fuck, dude, this is
Seriously.
That's poor
But
military.
that's a
man.
good
Real
fucking movie then. If
depiction of
Stanley
war.
Kubrick, exactly, if Stanley Kubrick or whoever can make you feel that way after a movie, even after a song you listen to, it's good art in my
You
opinion.
know which one I haven't seen, and I really should just. I think it's on Netflix too. I just need to just watch
Don't
it.
say The Shining. Don't say The Shining.
No, of course I've
Okay,
seen The
just
Shining.
checking.
The Shining is amazing. Clockwork Orange. I haven't watched Clock all the way through.
God,
Yeah, I really
watch
should.
that shit. That shit movie's fucked
'Cause I
up.
heard that one's fucked
That's
up.
Kubrick. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Kubrick,
That movie's
yeah.
fucked up, man.
And of course, Space Odyssey and or not Space Odyssey.
The 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just zoning out and thinking about space balls when I was just hearing some words.
Bro.
What's that dude's name?
Love
Mel
Space.
Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
I love that shit. He
Bro, I
always-
was
They're in,
just,
like,
I
the
watched
trailer.
the first like 20
They're, like in an
minutes of it the
RV or
other
whatever
day.
in space. Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
dude.
Yeah, I have it on DVD
or,
for some
Barf.
weird reason.
yeah, dude. Use the
Barf and
Schwartz,
Lone
man.
Star. Lone Star. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
I can't believe you fell for that.
Oh, dude.
I'm your father's brother's cousin's nephew's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Like Blazing Saddles too. That one.
Punching
Oh
the
yeah,
horse.
dude. That's
Punching the horse.
that's right.
Because the thing is, like, my dad,
classic
I
Mel
watched that movie with
Brooks.
my dad. My dad only laughs at shit that's actually funny. Blazing Saddles, he will not stop laughing.
Oh yeah, your dad, I can see your dad loving
The old lady's
Blazing
just
Saddles.
getting beat in the stomach. She's like, "Have you ever seen such brutality? This is just
It's like,
brutality."
it's another, it was my dad, but another movie, Airplane.
Oh, Airplane
Airplane's
is
hilarious.
Have you ever
What's
seen a
that dude's
grown man
name?
naked?
Oh my god, so good.
See, people out there, you gotta
Surely
watch
you
these
don't.
movies.
Surely you don't. Yeah.
Isn't it Will?
Yes, I do, and don't call me Shirley. Or what does he say?
Yeah, that's what he says. Sure, and don't call me Shirley. That movie's
Don't call me
fucking
Classic.
awesome.
I love that movie.
Yeah. What do we have? An hour and 11 minutes.
Yeah, what do you say? I mean, food's ready. Are you ready to?
Food's right. I'm trying to
pretty
eat,
hungry.
but you know, what? I think we should do a little out. We should maybe cut this. I'm not the director here, but I kind of want to, a little freestyle session. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you want a freestyle session at the end?
Ty's like, oh,
We can
fuck,
add
I
that
can
in.
say that. God damn it! I can't freestyle. Simple Plan, dude.
We could do that. We could, if
Dude,
you
Simple
want.
Plan could freestyle. Have you heard that one with Sean Paul? Shit's tight.
No,
Oh my God,
Simple Plan and Sean Paul.
Why have
Simple
I
Plan
not?
with Sean Paul, dude. It's
What
tight.
was
It's
it?
tight.
Wasn't
Sing
Sean Paul was the like white? He was like light skinned, but he's Jamaican with like cornrows, right?
Jamaican
Yeah, yeah,
funk
yeah.
With cornrows, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Because
Jamaican,
I
right?
always think of Sean Paul, then I think of Sean John, the clothing. Remember
P.
that?
Diddy's, like, clothing
Yes,
line?
His
yeah,
clothing
yeah.
line, Sean John.
I was talking to my homie the other day. It was like Sean, like all the early 2000s.
Oh my God, Sean
John, Rockaware,
brought me
Fat
back.
Farm, Fuba, Fila, Champion, all that shit, dude. That shit was
Dude.
tight, dude. No one knows about that shit anymore, dude.
People don't know about South Pole.
Oh, God. Mark Echo.
and Echo. We used to work
Mark
Echo.
was still a thing.
What were the Jinko? Junk.
Jinko jeans.
Junko
Jinko jeans.
jeans.
However you say that. I never rocked
I
those.
never
Bananas?
said it.
I am. I'm just kidding.
The bananas. Didn't get the memo. Still rocking FUBU.
Oh,
Well, that's
for
a-
us by us.
Yeah, dude. You see,
Dude,
you'd see
my spoon
a
is too
bunch
big,
of white
dude.
dudes. What, like wearing that? You're like,
I'm not gonna lie. There is a picture of me in a FUBU. I didn't own it. It wasn't mine.
dude, yeah, you never own it. You always find it at the thrift shop.
It wasn't mine.
He's-
What I did.
My boy we talked about earlier, Hawk. It was his actually. He was a Korean guy.
a Korean dude named Hawk that had a
you want to see me
FUBU
throw
shirt?
up on
he was a
camera?
FUBU jersey.
Man, he's living in the future, dude.
Bro, real shit.
He's in the future. If this was 1994, he was
He
living
smoked
in
weed
the
before any of
future,
us, dude. He was definitely in the future, bro. He was-
FUBU, dude.
But we tried to make little CD covers and shit, and I'm wearing that with the bandana and shit, like West Side, motherfucker, M80 out here.
Those one too.
Well, that's a good
too
idea.
hard
That's,
for the radio right there.
Too hot for the fucking radio. We could totally cut this, call this the end of the podcast, do a freestyle session if you want.
I mean, hey, I don't want to be the only one.
And I'll just edit it in at the end of this video, and we'll throw it in at the end.
I'm down.
That would be dope. All right, let's do that. Sound Table Podcast Episode 3, Oskeeet in the building. I am M Theory. Coast, our good guest. Do you want to tell? Do you want to tell them if there's anywhere online they can find you?
Online.
It's up to you if you want.
Yeah, I got nothing going on right now, but because I'm lazy right now. But I'll get at
I'm
you.
just
for
trying
sure.
to get the. I don't know. I see this how the podcasts do it. You just gotta throw out.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I'll be working on my shit, and I'll get back to you.
Green Shadow
Alright.
Crossing.
Green
I'm
Shadow
not involved
Crossing
in
and
this
work-
shit. I
in
just
the
listened to
workings.
like 9 of your guys' songs, and you guys are lame
We
for
were
not
busting
putting out
it out,
an
I
EP
know
man.
yet.
some Green
The
Shadow
fuck is
Cross.
that?
It's coming.
in the
It's
works.
coming. I'm telling you. Oskeeet, you can find him at Oskeeet 3 E.
I think I just changed it to Oskeeet. Just spell it with 3 E's. Oskeeet.
Yeah, we'll change that.
Elliot.
Oskeeet 3 E's.
Yeah.
And I'm at all the platforms at mtheory916, no dash in there, and then we'll be back in a minute. With
And we
some
promise
freestyle.
this is once a week, and so far we've kept with our promise.
Yeah,
Once a week.
If you're listening.
That's right. Hopefully we'll get
Keep chuggling on, dude.
Chugga-luggin'.
Keep chugging now.
Cut, juggling.
All right, y'all. Peace and love. Deuces. One.